Big up to Jay. Big up Jay each and every time. And guys, appreciate you guys coming through earlier today. Some very good numbers today. Probably the best numbers I've done so far, actually. So, yeah, big up yourselves. And obviously, big up to all the mods for helping keep the chat on a good level, man, really. So big up yourselves each and every time. So, Bradley Barcola. So, looking like Liverpool, are, looking at trying to get Barcola of the line. I do think, big up to Daniela, I do think Barcola, for me, it's a weird one. It's a weird one because I think PSG, from what we're hearing, I think PSG probably don't want to sell Barcola, But if I look at Barcola and where he figures in this PSG lineup, big up to Barbara Joseph as well. If I look at Barcola and where he figures in this lineup, I think Barcola definitely isn't a starter for PSG. So I just think to myself now, what does Barcola, what kind of incentive does he have really staying at PSG? Because again, you've got Kvaratskhelia, you've got Ousmane Dembele, and then you've got Desiree Doué. So I think that would be Luis Enrique's favoured front three, that fluid front three. And then I believe that Barcola, if the game's not going in PSG's favour or they want to change something, I believe that's when Barcola gets introduced off the bench, And I think going forwards, I think Barcola's probably gonna have that same role, I mean, there's been talk of Barcola signing a new contract, but again, if I'm Barcola, I'm weighing up my options because, as I said, I think it's safe to say out of the two young guns, him and Doué is the one that's more favoured. Doué's younger than him. I think Doué might be, 19 or 20? And I think Barcola's 22, I believe. So, yeah, it's kind of a sticky one for Barcola if he does sign a new contract because I can just see him ending up in the same position as a bench option moving forwards, So, but again, Liverpool looking at Barcola, could he be the alternative to Alexander Isak? You'd think obviously Isak, as we all know, is the number one target. But again, do I believe that Isak leaves Newcastle? I think I have to say at this moment in time, I think it's probably 60-40 in Newcastle's favour to keeping Isak. Because I just don't believe, big up to Agnes as well, I just don't believe that Newcastle are desperate to sell. They're not, and as I said, unless Liverpool, come in with that bid of 150 mil, I just can't see Barcola. I just can't see Isak moving on. I think it's going to take a lot for them to part ways. Even though they've, how they're treating Isak now, they're letting him know that it's unacceptable in a sense, the way he's gone about things. He's training separately, which again is showing, for me, I think it's good management from Eddie Howe. Because again, it's one of them things where you can't just Isak can't just expect to come back as normal. Because in a sense, he's kind of betrayed the fans in a sense because the relationship he had with the fan base. I know for a fact he should be offered a new contract and he should be on higher money, 100%. And whether that's probably a stumbling block as to why he does want to leave, who knows? But I do think the way Eddie Howe's gone about it is probably correct. And Newcastle, if they don't go and get someone that is, a proper replacement for Isak, which, again, there isn't too many players out there. Again, they're chasing Benjamin Sesko, and Sesko's chosen Man United. So United are looking at closing that deal. So, yeah, I think I can see Isak at this moment in time staying. I can't see him moving on. And as I said, I think it's going to take a lot of money. And again, Newcastle getting in a replacement for them to part ways with Isak. So I'm going to say 60-40 that Isak stays, which means that, you know, the likes of Bradley Barcola, this is where he comes into the conversation, because he could be an alternative for Isak. And again, you look at Ekatike, he's the only recognised striker now because Darwin Núñez has gone to Saudi. So you're looking at Ekatike as the main striker. And, you know, I think if they can't get Isak over the line, I think Barcola as an alternative, someone that can play on both wings as well. That might mean, you know, Mo Salah at times could play through the middle. You know, they could change things up. Who knows? They could play a false nine. You got Cody Gakpo as there that can also play through the middle. But yeah, I think they've got options there. But I think Barcola will be a good alternative if they don't get Isak. But they're throwing all their energy into the Isak basket. So I think Isak's the one that we all know that they want. But whether they can get Newcastle to, you know, to come to the table, who knows, man? Because that first bid, which was obvious, was rejected. And I think the next bid coming up is going to need to be something as close to possible as to 150. And then even that, Newcastle probably don't even accept that. So, yeah, we'll have to wait and see, man. We'll have to wait and see. Big up to Jay. Jay says, according to TalkSport and many other news outlets, Newcastle has pulled out of all negotiations with Sesko. So I don't think Isak will leave this window. Yeah, big up Jay, man. I'd have to agree with you, Jay, as well. I think, yeah, as we know, you know, Sesko's going to Man United. That's pretty much confirmed now anyway. But I do think that the fact that Sesko's not moving, you know, me personally, I think Newcastle would be very foolish to let Isak go now. I know Isak wants to go, but again, he's still got 3 years left on his contract. And it's one of them things where unless they receive an offer, you know, or get someone in. And again, who knows who they're going to get in now? You know, they've obviously been in talks with Johan Visser. I think Visser is a must now for Newcastle. They need to get that over the line. You know, whether Brentford budge on that, who knows? But I think that's a must for them to get Visser. And I still believe they go in for another striker as well. So whoever that's going to be, you know, there's talk of Nicholas Jackson. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Big up to Ari Edits as well. Guys, make sure you keep giving me your questions. And obviously, make sure you smash the like button on the way in as well. So, and let me know, guys, do you think Bradley Barcola is a good alternative if Liverpool don't get Isak? Let me know, because, as I said, I think it's unlikely PSG sell him. But I just wonder if Barcola comes out and says, look, he wants to move on. Because I think as it stands right now, Barcola's not going to be a starter for PSG. Because I think you've got the likes of Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, and Doué, who are the preferred front three for Luis Enrique. And again, they was interested in Rodrigo Mora as well, you know, and whether they go and get another attacker, you know, you got Gonzalo Ramos still there as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what they do, you know. Big up to Westside SC says, Barcola ain't going to no Liverpool, and we're going to get the Swedish striker, and we're going to get the Crystal Palace centre-back, and that's that. So, Westside SC says Barcola's not going to Liverpool. Again, Liverpool are interested in Barcola, you know, and it's likely that PSG are going to keep him and sign him to a new contract. So the Swedish striker you're going to get, who's the Swedish striker? Who are you talking about? And the Crystal Palace centre-back, is that Mark Guehi? Westside, let me know what team you support, because that comment's a bit all over the place. So I'm trying to understand where you're coming from. So I'm guessing, oh, you're a Liverpool fan, yeah? So you're saying you're going to get Isak and Guehi. Well, again, as I mentioned, Isak at this moment in time is 60-40 staying at Newcastle, because again, Newcastle don't have to sell. And unless Liverpool, you know, meet the 150, it's unlikely that he's going to be moving, because he's got 3 years left on his contract. And the Mark Guehi one, you know, you'd expect Guehi to be going to to Liverpool, you know, or to any other club because he's got 1 year left on his contract. But again, there's nothing concrete at the moment. So yeah, we know Isak's Swedish, bro. We know that, man. But your comment didn't really make too much sense because it's just a lot of words you're using. It wasn't really clear. So you just said the Swedish striker. That could be anyone, you know. And then Crystal Palace centre back, so Mark Guehi. So yeah, big up for coming through, man. And as I said, the Isak and Guehi hasn't got over the line. So again, you're gonna need to I think Liverpool are gonna need to, you know, part with the 150 for Isak and the Guehi one. You know, the Guehi one's gonna be a bit difficult, I believe, as well, because Palace are very good at getting good fees for their players, you know, and selling them on their terms. So unless Guehi, you know, tells Palace that he wants to move, we have to wait and see. But at this moment in time, I think there's 2 players that Liverpool would like. Whether they can get them over the line this summer remains to be seen. If they do, I think it's certain that, you know, Liverpool are going to wrap up this title, or you'd have to say. Big up to the Royalty Master says, hey Gav, remember me from this morning? Can't wait to see Sesko play. But if Liverpool sign Isak, I don't think they will sign Barcola. Yeah, big up to the Royalty Master. So again, this is why I'm saying it's an alternative. So Liverpool are not going to sign Isak and Barcola. But I think, you know, Barcola could be an alternative to Isak. Because as I just mentioned to Westside SC, getting Isak out of Newcastle, you know, again, Isak wants to leave. But it's not going to be as simple as saying, yeah, let's get Isak, because Newcastle, as I said, don't have to sell. They've got the money, and they're going to drive a hard price for Liverpool to sign Isak. And let's not forget as well, we don't even know if Liverpool are even going to accept the 150 if that ever happens. You know, Liverpool could say, Newcastle could say, we want 150, but then they might not get a replacement, or they might think, you know what? He's still got 3 years left on his contract. We don't have to sell, so we're going to keep him. So yeah, that's one to look out for. But as I said, Liverpool are not going to sign both Isak and Barcola. It could be an alternative, you know, as I mentioned earlier, you know. But big up, man, for coming through again. So VIP Killer says Cristiano Ronaldo to Real Madrid. Here we go. Yeah, it must be a troll. Who is your favourite footballer? Do you know what? I get asked this question a lot of times, you know, and I can't name my only one player, because there's a lot of players that I do like to watch or who are my favourites. But my top 3 are Messi, R9, who's the real Ronaldo, and Ronaldinho. They're my favourite 3, you know, and there's obviously a lot of other players that I do like as well. But if I had to put my hand on heart and say the 3, I think it's them 3 for me, you know. But big up for your question. Samoom Ewan says Sesko to United. You know what it is, yeah. I'm not a massive fan of the Sesko signing, I have to be honest. But I think obviously he's there now. You know, we're gonna have to see how he gets on. And I think with the fact that Rasmus Højlund could be going the other way out the door, I can back it, you know. As long as Rasmus goes, this Sesko signing for me becomes a very good signing. But I think Rasmus has to get out the door, because I don't want to see Rasmus at this club no more. He's nowhere near the level. So if he goes at the door and Sesko's here, again, I can back what Ineos have done there, and I think that's going to happen as well. Big up to AWAD24 says we really need a centre back. I'm guessing you're a Liverpool fan, and I've said this before as well. The fact that United have now got Sesko from Leipzig, I'm very surprised that Liverpool haven't gone in for Castello Lukeba at the same club. Because again, Liverpool desperately need a centre-back. And for me, they need a left-footed centre-back for the balance. Now, Lukeba, I've been banging on about since the start of the summer. I think Lukeba would be a great signing for Liverpool, you know, because he's left-footed, you know, he's quick, he's strong, he's relatively comfortable on the ball as well. And I think he will complement Van Dijk and Konate perfectly. So, and again, if Liverpool want to go to a back 3 if he was to have a Castella Lekeba left-footed centre-back, Virgil van Dijk in the middle, and Kanate on the right, and then you've got the two wing-backs in Frimpong, Kirkes, then you've got a midfield two of McAllister and Gravenberch, then you've got a fluid front three, or you've got Mo Salah from the right, closer to the goal, Florian Wirtz can play from that left, and then you've got Ekitike as a striker, or if you get Isak, then that team would take stopping. And let's not forget, you got the likes of Cody Gakpo as well. And you got the likes of those players, the younger players, Rio as well, backing it up. So yeah, listen, I think if they manage to get a centre back Liverpool, then yeah, they're gonna be serious, man. I think you'd have to agree to that. Big up to VIP Killer says, I already answered that question. Okay. Big up to Ahmed Danesha says, who do you support? So Manchester United. Big up to Crawley Eagle. Big up, man, for coming back through. So Ahmed says, is Isak not allowed to just stop playing for Newcastle? Big up to Ahmed, man. I'm not sure how much football knowledge that you have. But it's not as simple as Isak just saying he's going to stop playing because he's under contract. So again, if Isak decides that he's not playing for Newcastle, then I'm pretty sure there'll be legal battles going on there, which I don't think Isak's going to do. But it's very clear that Isak wants to move on. Whether Newcastle and Isak can come to some kind of arrangement where, you know, he signs a new contract and there's a release clause in there that any other club can buy him for a certain amount, you know, that could be in the offing. But I think in terms of turning Isak, in terms of turning his head, you know, to be fully focused on Newcastle, again, it's going to be difficult, you know, because it seems like he's got his heart set on Liverpool. But the ball's in Newcastle's court because I keep saying Newcastle do not have to sell, you know. It's up to Liverpool to up the money as close to 150. And then even then, you know, it's still going to be up to Newcastle. So, yeah, man, it's going to be interesting, put it that way. It's going to be very interesting. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. Guys, come on. There's 60 of you in there watching and only 7 likes. Let's smash the like button, guys. Let's at least hit 30 likes today. You know, it's just one press of the button, you know, help the channel to grow. And then again, if you haven't subbed to the channel, make sure you sub as well. And guys, keep your questions coming in. Let me know what you think about Bradley Barcola. Is he a good alternative if Newcastle can't get if Liverpool, can't get Alexander Isak? You know, he's not a direct replacement in terms of positions, but, you know, could he be a decent signing if PSG indicate that they want to let him go, which at this moment in time, it's looking unlikely. But again, it's one to watch. Somyun Yoon says, will United finish in the top 5 with Sesko? I think as it stands now with the Sesko signing and, you know, you've got Mbeumo, Cunha. As I said this morning, if anyone's seen the stream this morning about Carlos Baleba, I think with the 3 that's been signed right now, I'm looking at Man United as a top 8. I think top 8 should be the minimum requirement right now in terms of the signings that have been brought in and what they've already got. I think if United get Baleba, I'm going to say top 8, top 6 if Baleba comes through the door. And I'm just praying that Carlos Baleba is signed by Manchester United. You know, I've been banging on about this player since the start of the summer, since last season. He's the one player that United need to go and sign for many reasons. And again, I've been through it this morning, so I won't touch on it too much. But he's the one player that United have to sign. And let's hope Ineos get that over the line and Jim Ratcliffe get that over the line. Let's hope. But I think at this moment in time with the Sesko signing, I'm going to say top 8 to top 6 is a minimum requirement, you know. Crawley Eagle says, Jay Maddison confirmed bad injury. Yeah, James Maddison, man. I think in a funny way, this actually probably works for Tottenham because Tottenham now have no excuse but not to go out and sign a 10. And obviously, Son's gone as well. So they have to go and get a 10, someone that can play as a 10 and play as a left winger, which is why if you look at Jack Grealish and Eze, they're the 2 ideal players for Tottenham. You know, both players play as a 10. both players can play from the left. And I think if you can get one player that can play in two positions, like those two, I think it kind of cushions the blow of losing Maddison to injury and the fact that Son's gone as well. So, but yeah, it's a bad injury, man. ACL, you know, a lot of these players now are doing their ACLs, which is crazy. So, hopefully Maddison has a speedy recovery, you know, but I think Tottenham now are going to be forced to at least do some business. And again, I'll be very surprised if they don't do anything, you know. They've been linked today to Nico Paz, formerly of Real Madrid, you know. But I think Eze, Grealish, for me, Premier League proven, is where they need to be going for me personally, you know. But we'll have to wait and see what they do, man. But they're definitely going to need to go in the market and get some players. Definitely. Big up to Olami Jikoji. Yeah, big up to Lucky YNG. The real Ronaldo is R9. There you go, man. If anyone knows the real Ronaldo is R9, yeah, big up yourselves, man. Whenever I hear Ronaldo, you can't disrespect R9 like that. The greatest striker to ever play the game, you know. El Fenomeno. That's what we call him. So Olami says, is Isak still going to come to Liverpool? In my opinion, I'll be honest, as it stands right now, I think it's more likely that he stays at Newcastle, because unless Newcastle get a ready-made replacement, again, they've missed out on Benjamin Sesko. Unless they get a ready-made replacement, or unless they get unless they get the money that they want, again, they might not even accept that. So the ball is in Newcastle's court, you know. So it's one to watch. You know, I think a lot of people right now might say Isak is going, but I'll reiterate, it's going to be down to Newcastle for sure. Newcastle hold all the keys to this Isak transfer, because they might just decide, look, we're not accepting absolutely anything for him, and if he's unhappy, then so be it. But they're going to want to get a player in that they can say is not on Isak's level, but close to it, or up and coming. And then, you know, this is when they're going to decide what they want to do with Isak. And at the moment, they're not getting either. So I just don't see him moving at the moment. So it is what it is. Cruel Eagle says, Gav, what's your thoughts on Garnacho to Chelsea for 45 million? Yeah, big up, man. My thoughts are, get the guy at the club as soon as possible. And the fact that Chelsea won him, I'm actually shocked. So, listen, if Chelsea want to give us 45 million for Alejandro Garnacho, then show us the money, you know, because that guy, for me, is nowhere near good enough, you know. And the fact that Chelsea want him, as I said earlier today, it can only be to flip him for money in the future, because of his, for some reason, he's got a massive hype about him from a lot of these fans. So that's probably what Chelsea are looking at. But if Chelsea want to go to the next level, they surely cannot be looking at Alejandro Garnacho as a solution for them on the left-hand side and being a regular, you know, because I look at Bruno Gittins, and Bruno Gittins, for me, was a surprising signing, but Bruno Gittins is comfortably better than Garnacho. So, again, for me, it's one of them things where Garnacho probably is just someone that's going to be flipped in the future, you know, for a decent price, because he's got commercial value at the moment for some reason. Because as a footballer, he's nowhere near the level, you know. So I'm surprised, you know. And but if Chelsea want to be dumb and give us that money so we can go and spend, then listen, bring that money through, man. I'm all for it. But big up, man. Let's see, guys. Come on, 64 of you watching. 12 likes, guys. Come on, let's smash the like button if you're enjoying the content, and keep giving me your questions. And again, make sure you sub to the channel if it's your first time in there. Big up yourselves, guys. Big up. Big up to Zara. Yeah, listen, I don't speak Arabic. I don't. But big up yourselves for coming through. You know, so Ange was great for the neutral like me, so entertaining. Listen, I liked Ange Postecoglou. You know, I know a lot of people didn't really like Ange's style of football, but I thought his intent was clear, and his intent was to score goals. I think at the back, as we know, he was quite open with his defence. But this is why I think Thomas Frank takes Tottenham on, because Thomas Frank's going to make sure that Tottenham's defence, and let's look at Tottenham's defence anyway. You know, I think that's quite a decent back five. Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Christian Romero, Mickey van der Ven, and Destiny Udogie. And you've got Jed Spence as well, who for me is a very good player and can start as well. But I think Porro might be first choice. You've got Kevin Danso, who can back up the defenders as well. I think that back five, I think Thomas Frank's going to make them more solid at the back. You know, I don't think he'll be leaving too many holes. You know, I think Mickey van der Ven's pace is that crucial to that team, his recovery pace. But I don't think he's going to be using Van der Ven's pace as a requirement as much. Because I don't think I think he'll make sure that the midfield and the defence are a lot more tighter. You know, and again, João Paulinho coming in is going to help towards that. Then you've got Lucas Bergvall, you know, young gun coming through. You know, a lot of energy in that midfield. Basuma, Bentancur as well. I think Tottenham are going to be a surprise this season, you know, under Thomas Frank, because I rate Thomas Frank highly. I think he's a very good manager. And I think a lot of people are disrespecting Thomas Frank because he was at Brentford and his name's Thomas Frank, you know. If his name was Thomas Flick, you know, people might be looking at him a bit more. But as I said, man, I rate him very highly, Thomas Frank. So I reckon he's going to take Tottenham on, in my opinion. So, yeah, good evening to Lumi. Big up to Lumi each and every time. Big up. Yeah, trust in the process. Listen, Arsenal in the mud, man. Beaten by Villarreal yesterday, 3-2. Was yesterday or day before? Beaten by Tottenham, their arch rivals as well. It's not looking good, man. Obviously, we got you guys' first game of the season. And guys, as I said, I will be doing a live watch-along for that game. So if you guys do want to come and join me for the live watch-along, first game of the season, Man United versus Arsenal. Yeah, make sure you come and join me. Just keep an eye on the schedule to see when I schedule that stream, man. So, yeah, listen, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, you know, I expect United to not lose. You know, I'm not going to say United are going to win, but I expect them to not lose at Old Trafford. So, yeah, we will be there for that. Mick Moore says, Man United's next goalkeeper, who do you think? So you know what, Mick, here, I answered this earlier today, you know. Despite what many people might think, I actually don't think Andre Onana is a bigger problem than some of the other players. You know, I look at Rasmus Højlund, Alejandro Garnacho, obviously Rashford's out on loan, Bruno Fernandez, Manuel Ugarte, Mason Mount, Luke Shaw. I think all them players for different reasons are a bigger problem than Onana, because I do think, as bad as Onana has been, I do think, you know, with a settled team in front of him, and at least give him, you know, one more season to see what he can do, I do believe that he can be better. But on the other side, if United can get a Donnarumma, you know, which again, I'm not entertaining that too much because I don't see Donnarumma coming to Man United. I mean, why is a guy that's just won the Champions League, one of the best keepers in the world, going to come to United? But if he does, then again, do whatever you want to do with Onana. But I just don't see that happening. But what I would say is Donnarumma's not a ball-playing goalkeeper. So, you know, this is why Luis Enrique isn't too fussed about losing him. But if Man United want to, I think at this moment in time, I don't think they're too interested in playing with a ball-playing goalkeeper, then you don't sign Donnarumma. So I think Donnarumma's basically being talked about because of his status in the game. You know, he's only 26 as well. So he's been playing the game for 10 years. You know, made his debut at 16. So I like Donnarumma, but can I see it being realistic with the wage he wants as well? I think at this moment in time, I think we'd have to remain cautious because I'll be very surprised if United get him, you know. But if it's one club that can get him, it's Man United. But I just think at this moment in time, I think it's more about him using United's interest or his team using the interest to get a bigger contract elsewhere, probably, you know. But who knows, man? If he does come through, then I'll be the first to say, listen, Ineos have pulled off a masterstroke because they shouldn't be signing a goalkeeper that's a Champions League goalkeeper coming to a team that's not in Champions League, you know. But again, the prestige might be too much. But who knows, man? We'll have to wait and see. But I think that's the only one I'm really looking at, if I'm honest. Donnarumma. I know there's been talk about Lamens. You know, Lamens is more of a... Because Lamens is not going to come in and displace Onana. You know, so yeah, I think if it's not Donnarumma and there's no possibility of that, then I think, listen, I'm fine with Onana just to see how he gets on this season, you know, despite what many people might think. Guys, come on, there's 66 of you watching and 18 likes. Let's up the likes, guys. Come on, let's up the likes. Let's at least hit 30 as a minimum. We've got 19 at the moment. Let's up the likes. Big up yourselves, guys, and keep giving me your questions. Lumi says, Gav, you were spot on about Baleba. You working for United's recruitment now. Yeah, big up, Lumi. Listen, you know what it is with me, yeah? I just look at... So I can look at a player, and I'm very good at identifying, you know, if this player is going to be a big player in the future. The first time I saw Baleba, I just knew to myself that this guy is going to be signed by one of the biggest clubs in the world, you know, if it's not Man United, because he's got that ability. You know, he's someone that, as I keep mentioning, you know, he's press resistant, he's tenacious in the tackle as well. He's box to box, you know, he's good at breaking the lines with his dribbling. He's got a very good change of pace. He's aggressive. And most importantly, he's left-footed, which adds balance to the midfield. So I just looked at that kind of player. And guys, as I keep mentioning, if we're looking at the best left-footed central midfielders in world football, the only two that stand out is Eduardo Camavinga and Fabian Ruiz. I can't think of any central midfielders that are left-footed that stand out. And this is why I think Baleba is crucial, a crucial player to be signed. You know, Premier League proven, 21 years of age as well. And I think he's primed to come into this team. And again, he's a club signing. He's not a signing for the manager. He's a club signing in the sense that he can fit into any system. So, again, I'm not going to bore you guys too much about Baleba again, because I'm watching this next couple of days to see what happens on that, man. Big up to Louis Villanova, South Central. Big up Louis, man. Big up yourself. Big up to Ed God says, what about Neymar Martinez is transfer to Garnacho? Yes, that's the thing. So he's gone there on a free transfer. I wonder, in actual facts, I think I know why they've let him go. If anyone follows Barcelona have got, I believe he's still there anyway. They've got a left-sided centre-back called Michael Fay. I think he's not sellable. You know, and I think they allowed Martinez to go, so Fay could come through as a left-foot centre-back. So if anyone's a Barcelona fan, you know, Michael Fay, I think he might be one to watch, you know. I think that's why they probably let Martinez go, so he can come through, in my opinion. So, yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, Martinez went to Al-Nassr today on a free transfer. I think they might be bringing that Fay as the replacement. Big up to CPJ Revolver says, what do you think about Son leaving Spurs? Yeah, I think it was obvious that Son was going to leave Spurs, to be honest with you. I think when I look at it, Son really completed his objective, really, and that objective was to win a trophy for Tottenham, which he done, winning in the Europa League. And you look at the career he's had at Tottenham, you know, scored goals, you know, his combinations with Harry Kane throughout the years has been impressive as well. Yeah, I think he's there to obviously run the same, you know, his impact on games was nowhere near what it was when he was in his prime for Tottenham. So I think it was obvious that he was going to move on, you know, and obviously he's gone to LA, and he's still got like 20 mil for him as well, which is crazy. So, yes, Son has to go, man. I think they need to bring in fresh blood in now as well, and I think they will do that in this window. So, yeah, Son has to move on for me, definitely. Lumi says, Gav, we are losing to give you some false confidence, but just wait until we play. Yeah, listen, we because you guys have lost. So, yeah, you guys definitely need some confidence. But I'm just hoping it's not going to be against United, if I'm honest. But who knows, man? But we will definitely be here. We will definitely be here, man. And see how both teams get on. Big up to Nick FPS Picks. I'm a Newcastle fan. Help me. Yeah, big up to Nick, man. Usually one of my mods, Gamer, who's actually on holiday now. You know, he's a fellow Newcastle fan as well. And if he was here, man, he could console you. Because, as I said, it must be frustrating to be a Newcastle fan right now in comparison to what you guys are having to go through. You know, I mean, you've missed out on what? Liam Delap, João Pedro, Embuemo, Ekatike, Sesko. Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. And obviously, you guys are now going for AC Milan defender Malik Tior as well. So, I mean, who's to say someone won't come in with a bid for that player now? You know, but yeah, I do think Newcastle have been. Yeah, it's a hard one because they've been put into order really in terms of their status in world football right now. But yeah, that's something that they got to deal with, man. Unfortunately, but big up. Oh, listen, yeah, Lumi mentioned that already. Okay, big up Lumi. So CPJ says, I think we need someone except Butterfingers in goal for United. Yeah, listen, as I said, man, he hasn't been as I said, yeah, I don't think Nana has had the greatest of seasons, to be honest with you, past few seasons. But I would say that in terms of, you know, players to get rid of, he's nowhere near the top three for me. He's not. You know, many people might have him as a top three, but not for me. I think Rasmus, Garnacho, you know, Mason Mount is a bigger problem than Onana, because Mason Mount's got number 7 on his back. He's on 250 a week and he costs 60 mil. So he's a bigger problem than Onana. But again, people are not going to touch onto that because for reasons that we know why. Yeah. So as I said, man, maybe Onana doesn't need to get replaced in the future, but he's nowhere near the top of the list for me. Nowhere near it. Yeah, big up, Jay, man. Jay, listen, anyone coming in this chat talking shit or disrespecting, just time them out. And again, if I see it as well, I'll do the same. You know, everyone's free to come in there and have their opinion on football. You know, as long as it's respectful. But if you're just gonna come in there and talk shit, yeah, or just be rude to any of my mods or to me, you just get timed out or blocked. It's as simple as that. Yeah, big up Jay, man. Yeah, I think Gamer's gone to Turkey to cushion the blow, man, as well. Yeah, I think he's I think it was too much for him, to be fair. I think Sesko might have been the last straw. So yeah, if you guys get a chance, man, check in on Gamer, see if he's all right. Check in on him because I think he's gonna be a bit you know, a bit what's the word? A bit sensitive, I would say. So yeah, make sure you guys check in on him to see if he's cool. Yeah, big up Gamer, man. Big up DXR, bro. Big up each and every time. Yeah, big up, man. Appreciate it, DXR, each and every time, man. Big up to Arsenal and Pakistan cricket team as well. Big up to Mick. Mick says, thanks, great answer. Martinez on loan, maybe. Yeah, I think the Martinez talk's gone quiet. And you know what it is with me, yeah? When I'm hearing Martinez to Man United, I'm just not taking that seriously because I think that why would Aston Villa give Martinez, even if it's a loan deal, to United? Because realistically, United are a direct rival to Aston Villa right now in terms of the top 8. So I think if you're going to give one of the best keepers in the league to a direct rival, it doesn't really make sense. So I can't see Martinez happening, if I'm honest. You know, I think a lot of that was speculation. And I think Onana's going to be the number 1 next season. I'm pretty sure of that. So, but yeah, no, if Martinez comes on loan, I'll be very surprised. But again, I would welcome it. But if we're talking about Donnarumma or Martinez to replace Onana, then fair enough. But I can't see either deal happening, you know. So, yeah, I think it's one of them things to not really entertain too much, in my opinion. So, yeah, big up Arsenal. So Arsenal and Pakistan cricket team. What country you from, bro? So you're saying it's 12:02 a.m. What country you in then? Yeah, gamers in Turkey, man. He's in Turkey hiding. He couldn't handle the Newcastle doing what they're doing to him. I think his blood pressure is just getting higher and higher, man. So I think he's just chilling out in Turkey for about a couple of weeks to get away from all the stress, man. I can't blame him. It's not been easy. Put it that way. So big up to Kalok K2 says, did you see about Anthony only wanting to go to Real Betis? To be fair, I've not heard that. I've actually not heard that. I'll be very surprised if Anthony goes back to Betis, to be honest with you. I think he might someone's saying my thing I'm lagging. Guys, am I lagging? Is that happening? It's fine from my end. But yeah, no, I've not seen Anthony and Real Betis talk, to be honest with you. And I think I'll be surprised if he does go Real Betis, because the season he had with them on loan, you know, there's going to be a lot of more suitors after him, you know. And as I said, I'll be very surprised if that is the case. But who knows, you know. So, Gav, why you sound like you're beatboxing? Are you serious? Is it lagging for real? Guys, my connection seems fine here, man. It's not lagging for me. I don't know. Maybe refresh, guys. Refresh the page and see, because it's looking fine for me over here. I wonder why a few people have dropped out. So my mic's playing up. I'm not on a mic, so it can't be that. Let me see this. I'm all good now, yeah? Oh, that's annoying, man. Yeah, guys, I'm not sure what happened there, man, because it was fine on my end. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, man. Guys, apologies, man. I wonder why people were dropping out. I didn't actually know. Obviously, I'm going through your chats, and obviously, I'm just seeing now that you guys are saying my mic's playing up, but I'm not even on the mic. So, yeah, that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. Oh, well, it is what it is, but... Big up to Mustafa Goated says, hi, I'm having a bad day. Well, listen, this is why you found this channel, man. This channel will make you have a better day, put it that way. Make sure you get involved in the chat, Mohammed and Mustafa, sorry. It's a football channel, you know, we like boxing on there as well. We like wrestling, you know, we like UFC. So if you've got any chat, man, any positive chat, then put that in, put that in. So your friend had to move to Texas. Okay. Okay. So he's from... Guys, I should have known that, to be honest with you. So he's from Pakistan. Okay. I mean, to be fair, his name does give it away. But, yeah, big up to Arsenal, man, and Pakistan cricket team. Big up yourself. Yeah, listen. Big up to Jude. Jude says, I've just joined the football team and I've gotten injured already. Jude, did you make sure you stretched, man? Did you even stretch before you started? Oh, you pulled your groin. Oh, listen. I've done that before, man. And I remember when I was at Chelsea, I had a groin and an ankle injury at the same time. And I tell you now, that was a problem for me, man. Like I was off and on playing for about a year, but I had a groin and ankle injury at the same time. And then I found out from the physios that the reason my groin and ankle injury were giving me problem is because I had a bent pelvis, which is mad. You know, I'm not sure how that happened, but yeah, I remember that. I remember that, man. It was crazy. Guys, all the mods, what I would say, if there's anyone that's putting comments in there, you know, and it's football related, you know, let them say what they're gonna say about football. But as soon as they start getting disrespectful, then yeah, you're all good to just time them out. But if it's football comments, obviously I'd like to hear what they've got to say. So yeah, don't just time them out straight away. You know, if I see it and I see that it's offensive, then I'll time them. But again, if you're free, if anyone's, as I say, just coming there abusive and just trying to ruin the chat, then again, you're free to just time them out, you know, or to block them. So Wayne Griffin says, I recently fractured my radius and will be out until December or next year. Was that playing football, Wayne? Yeah, big up Jay. Jay says, oh yeah, Gav, what do you think of Brock Lesnar returning? Yeah, listen, I've seen it, man. I see it. So again, wrestling fans, man, if you watch wrestling, obviously Brock Lesnar returned at SummerSlam. John Cena just lost the title to Cody Rhodes, and then all of a sudden Brock Lesnar comes out. And you know what the funny thing is? I actually thought Brock Lesnar was gonna shake John Cena's hand because, again, as we know, John Cena's on his way out. But I thought Brock Lesnar was gonna come in and put the rivalry to the side and shake his hand and say like farewell. He come in and gave him the F5, and personally, I'm not sure what that means now. You know, do we see John Cena and Brock Lesnar fight for one last time? It's going to be mad. But what I am interested to see is obviously Roman Reigns, you know, him, CM Punk, and LA Knight. You know, they got done over by Seth Rollins, Bronson Reed, and Bron Breakker. So I think that's going to heat up, man. But yeah, look, that's going to be good. Yeah, DXR, you're right, bro. You're right, man. Yeah, as I said, like, yeah, exactly, man. We had 60 in the chat, and it's gone down. I'm not sure if that was from the comments, but yeah, listen, I don't mind the comments if they're just normal comments, but if they're comments that are, you know, abusive, then that's what I'm saying. If they're abusing, then you're right to block them. But if they're just coming out with comments, then let them say what they got to say. As I said, they're watching the channel. They're taking their time out to come and watch me. So yeah, let them slide. But if it's abusive comments, then that's what I don't want in the chat. I don't want abuse because it's not about that. So, but yeah, big up anyway. Guys, mods, just give me a thumbs up if you've understood what I've said about the about trolls coming through. You know, if the trolls come through, as I said, if they're abusing, then you can block them or time them out. But if they're just making normal comments, then I'll just ignore them until they come out with something properly. So yeah. Yeah, exactly, DXR, yeah. Big up, man. So Lumi says, Gav, do you think it's time to move Maguire along? You know what it is? I think it's weird with Maguire because Maguire's gone from a massive problem to someone that I ain't really too fussed if he's there now. Because as long as Maguire's not a regular starter, and if he's someone that comes in every now and again, if someone needs a rest or if someone's injured, I'm not too fussed on that. But the problem becomes if he's starting regular games, because that's when I've got the issue. But the problem is with someone of Maguire's experience, you know, someone like him coming, him coming into him leaving, should I say? United are gonna have to spend a bit of money to replace that. So if you've got someone like that that's experienced and comes in, you know, to kind of do a job, then it's all good. You know what I mean? But as I said, man, I think if he's starting regular games, then this is where the problem comes. You know? Yeah, this is where the problem comes. But big up. Yeah, I think has Maguire got 1 year left on his contract? Jude, let me know if Maguire's got 1 year left on his contract. Because if he's got 1 year left, then yeah, again, man, it's a no-brainer to just keep him till then. You know. Jay says, according to Triple H, Brock only returned for a match for Cena, and the Punk, Roman, and Jay getting destroyed by the Vision, Seth's faction, is gonna lead to a War Games. Okay, yeah. Do you know what? Yeah, I kind of knew that's gonna happen because I remember watching something on YouTube actually, and it said that Roman Reigns is gonna lead an unlikely team against Seth Rollins. So I remember someone saying as well. Has anyone, Jay, have you noticed that there's a wrestler called Austin Theory? Austin Theory's kind of gone missing, and from what I was told, Austin Theory is gonna join Seth Rollins' faction. So I remember I was told that about 2 months ago. I was told that Austin Theory is gonna join Seth Rollins' faction, and Roman Reigns is gonna lead a new team to go battle against them. So whether that happens or not, I don't know. Yeah, guys, come on. We've only got 23 likes. We had 50 likes today. Again, let's at least hit 30 as a minimum. As a minimum. Gav, I think Reluctant ran away to support Fenerbahce. Yeah, listen, you can't blame him, man, for what's been going on. I mean, I wouldn't blame him because that's a lot to take, man. So it is what it is. You know what I mean? If he has done that, then yeah, I can't blame him. But as I said, just check in on him and make sure he's all right, man, because it's not been good, man, over the last couple of weeks for Gamer, man, and Newcastle. Wayne Griffin says there are rumours about Bruno Fernandez leaving for Saudi again. Yeah, listen, Wayne, you know what, yeah? This whole Bruno and Saudi thing, I'm actually bored of it now because the club didn't do what was required to remove him in the first place. You know, Bruno Fernandez should have been sold for 100 million, you know, to Al Hilal. The fact that United allowed him to stay, allowed Amorim to convince him, you know, is a problem. You know, Ineos should have taken that out of Bruno's hands and moved him on. So again, we're hearing Al Nassr, you know, want him. But I'll be honest with you, man, I'm just bored of this story now because this player is just frustrating and somehow he always keeps surviving. So again, all I ask for is Baleba to come in through the door. If he comes in and you know, and somehow Bruno now finds his place under threat and then that edges him out the door, this is what I want. But in terms of other clubs coming in for him, I think that ship sailed now with me because I'm just bored of it because he should have gone, you know. But again, it is what it is. So Mick Moore says, do you think Amorim will be given time if results don't go our way? Yeah, big up Mick Moore, man. I know it's your first time in there, man, but big up yourself. But I've answered this a few times. So for me, Ruben Amorim has 5 games. He has 5 games at the start of the season. Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley, City, and Chelsea. For me, he needs at least 2 wins from those 5 games. If he doesn't get at least 2 wins, he is going to be under pressure. And, you know, the next 5 games after that are not easy. So I personally don't believe Ruben Amorim has what it takes. So I just think that you know, if he doesn't do good in them first 5 games, he possibly cannot stay. You know, I think Ineos will pull the plug. So what I'm gonna say is, do I expect him to be here by Christmas time? I have to be honest, I don't, and it's because I don't think he's gonna. I can't see him doing much with his team. If I'm honest, they're getting better players in, but I don't trust his team selection, and that's the problem. And the fact that he keeps trying to shoehorn Bruno Fernandez and Dallo into this team tells me all I need to know. So we'll have to wait and see, man. But yeah, as I said, man, I think the first 5 games will tell me a lot, and that's what I'm looking forward to. Lumi says, can you see United winning the league within 5 years, Gav? 5 years. Well, put it this way, Lumi, yeah? I'm looking at the recruitment now of Mbeumo, Cunha, and Sesko's come through the door as well. If United get Baleba, and then they keep spending the money, I think a lot of it comes down to if United can get the kind of players that they've got in this summer and keep doing that for the next 3 to 4 years, then why not? But the one thing I'm going to say, Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, they are not going anywhere. So it's going to be very difficult. You know, I'm not going to mention your team, Arsenal, because I just don't take you guys seriously. You know, when you're signing Noni Madueke, it's very hard for me to take that club seriously. So I know it's annoying, but yeah, listen, we can't include you guys in this. But I think City, Liverpool, and Chelsea, yeah, it's going to be hard to topple them teams. But for me, United just need to keep spending the money that they spent this season and keep on improving. But what I'm going to say, it's not going to be under this manager. So this club can't win a title under this manager from what I'm seeing so far, because he's not a good coach, and he was brought in to be a good coach. So I've not seen him coach anything. So that's my reasons for that, really. Yeah, big up Jay, man. Jay's just mentioned. Yeah, one of my favorite wrestlers, and it's good because in 2021, listen, Buddy Matthews is in AEW. Again, he's if anyone doesn't know, Buddy Matthews is he was called Buddy Murphy in WWE, and as Jay has said, he's in AEW. Yep, Authors of Pain with Brody King and Malachi Black. Malachi Black is now in WWE under Aleister Black. So Buddy Matthews is actually with Rhea Ripley in real life. Like, I think they might be married in real life. But for me, he's ridiculous. Like, I think he can go on to be a world champion in AEW. But at this moment in time, I'm not sure if he's injured. But his physique is mad. You know, his moves are ridiculous. You know, he's aggressive with it as well. So yeah, man. Yeah, Jay, listen, big up, man. Buddy Matthews is one of my favorite wrestlers right now. He's ridiculous. And that faction with Malachi Black and Brody King, and obviously you had Julia Hart as well. That's been broken up now. So it's crazy, man. The House of Black, they were called. But big up, man. Huka says, Keenan Yildiz, Arda Güler. Yeah, listen, man. I would love to have both players at United, but it's not going to happen. You know, Keenan Yildiz, obviously, of Juventus, Arda Güler of Real Madrid. 2 top players, man. And Turkey have got, you know, they've got 2 of the best young players in Europe. They have. Whether they can, whether Güler gets regular game time, which I'm hoping he does this season, you know, they're going to be a threat, man, when it comes to this World Cup. I think they're in the World Cup anyway. Those 2 players there, man. So Ark says, nah, Bruno's the best. I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, Ark, if you're still in the chat, tell me why you think Bruno's the best. And I bet I know what you come out with. So, guys, let me know if Ark's in the chat. If Ark is still here, Ark, let me know why you think Bruno's the best. Because a lot of people just come out with just generic comments. Let me know why you think he's the best, and I guarantee you, I know what you're going to come out with, and this is why he's not. You know what I mean? Bird says Isak to Liverpool might as well hand the Premier League to them. Yeah, listen, Bird. I think I'm putting Liverpool as the favourites right now, and if Isak goes there, I'd have to say it's a wrap, man. I'd have to say that. But Man City are gonna have something to say, I think. So, Haka AEP says Hakan Çalhanoğlu. Yeah, Hakan Çalhanoğlu of Inter Milan, very good player. Again, Turkey have had some serious players throughout the years, man. If you remember Belozoglu Emre, central midfielder, ex-Inter Milan and Newcastle. You know, obviously Hakan Şüker, their striker. You know, Colin Kazim Richards. Again, Kazim Richards is from down there where I used to live. Yeah, listen, man. There's been some good footballers that Turkey have had. You know, Yildiz and Gule. I like Barish. Is it Barish Yilmaz? Is it Barish Yilmaz? I like him. I think he's good as well. You know, yeah, they've got some talent, man. Turkey for sure, 100%. So Jude says we have to get 9+ points from the first 5 games. A decent start. Yeah, listen, Jude, man. I mean, what I'm looking at these first 5 games, Arsenal, I'll be happy with a draw. You know, because I think I love United to beat Arsenal, of course. But if we're being realistic, you know, if it's a draw, I'll be happy with that. But then that means against Fulham and Burnley, for me, if you're drawing against Arsenal, Fulham and Burnley have to be 2 wins for me. And going away to Burnley is not going to be easy. But I'd expect United to get a win. Burnley at home, they have to get a win. And then it comes down to City and to Chelsea, which again are going to be 2 tough games. So this is what I'm trying to say to you, man. He's got it all to do. Let's so. Brandon says, bro, I friggin' hate you. Yeah, big up, Brandon, man. Big up, man. You're hating me, but you're watching me. I appreciate you, man. Well done. Cuz you have better style than me. Oh, is that why you hate me? Okay. I take it back, Brandon, man. I take it back. Yeah, this is something I just chucked on, man. If you think this is good style, man, you ain't seen nothing yet, man. That's what I would say. But listen, big up yourself for coming through anyway. So Jude says, we need Champions League football too. Expensive otherwise. Bro, listen. Me watching Man United throughout my years have always been used to United being in Champions League. So Champions League it just comes as part of the package of United. But since Sir Alex, you know, I put it down to when United got rid of Louis van Gaal. I don't think people understand what Louis van Gaal was building there. Not to mention, Louis van Gaal had nowhere near the money to spend that the likes of Mourinho, Solskjaer, Ten Hag, Amorim have spent. But what he was doing, he was building something at that club that a lot of fans were impatient because he was the next manager after Sir Alex. And then Mourinho come along and again, yeah, he went, man. Louis van Gaal went. But I liked Van Gaal, man. Van Gaal was building something special there. So the fact that United are not in Champions League regularly now, I think this was always coming because you can't keep having bad recruitment, you know, and having managers in place that really shouldn't have been in place. But again, I think Ineos now, they're starting to sort things out, man. That's all that we can ask for, you know. So we have to wait and see, man. Yeah, big up, guys. We got 30 likes in there at the moment. Let's smash the like button and help the channel to grow, guys. Come on. Just one press of the button, you know, helps the channel to be seen by other people. And again, make sure you sub to the channel as well. Okay, so Buddy Murphy had a neck injury. All right, listen, if Buddy Murphy was to join Seth Rollins' fraction, I'll tell you now, that would be some faction. I'm hoping it doesn't happen, you know, but if that was to happen, Buddy Murphy, yeah, that would be some faction, man. With Bron Breaker, Big Bronson Reed, Seth Rollins, and if Buddy Murphy was there, man. I can't see it happening, but that would be crazy. Big up to Nasser. Right, guys, I'm gonna go through some more of your questions, and then I'm gonna wrap. Obviously, we went for 2 hours today. So yeah, I'm just gonna go through a few of your questions, and then we'll wrap. So Lumi says, I don't know much about WWE, but what's your thoughts on Logan Paul? Do you know what? Logan Paul obviously is in WWE. As an athlete, you know, he's a very good athlete, man. That's one thing you would say, you know. Boxing, he's done WWE. And again, he's got his brand with KSI, you know, Prime. So yeah, man, listen, you can't hate on a man that's capitalized on a market that is what he's done. So yeah, listen, man, like, well done to him, man. He's tapped into something that a lot of people are invested in, you know. I mean, I don't buy Prime drinks, if I'm honest, you know, a lot of sugar in that stuff. But again, he's tapped into a market that a lot of people like, you know. So you can't hate on him, man. He's doing something right, put it that way. But when I see him in WWE, it is a bit weird, but to be fair, his finishing move is sick, to be fair. Like, I like his finishing move. But yeah, as an athlete, man, he's an insane athlete. He is. You know, just like Speed, I Show Speed. He's a very good athlete as well. But in terms of what he does, man, I don't know. That guy's just odd, you know. But listen, these guys are making money, man. So you can't actually hate on them. So Nasser says Liverpool will finish below top 3 this season. Boy, that's a big shout. If Liverpool was to finish below the top 3, then they'll sack on a slot, or they have to, because you don't spend that amount of money on the squad. You're the holders, and you finish below top 3. You know, and it might be harsh to say that, to sack on a slot because of him winning the league, but Liverpool won't accept that, and why should they? Wayne says, what do you think about Rodrigo to Arsenal? Yeah, big up, Wayne. I don't, because he's not going Arsenal. He's not going Arsenal, and for so many reasons. Arsenal have snookered themselves by signing Madueke. So the fact that they spent 52 million on Madueke, and they've still got Martinelli and Trossard on that left-hand side, you know, Saka's obviously is the main guy. There's no chance of them getting Rodrigo, and Rodrigo wouldn't go there for me anyway. So yeah, it's a non-story for me, because the money and the fact that they've already got players there that they've signed. So yeah, it's not going to happen. But big up, man. So Nasser says Barca will win the Champions League. I hope so, because Barca's my other team. I hope so. So Mick says Bruno should not play as a 6. Makes us weak in midfield. He's a 10. But Mick, big up yourself as well. I think what people need to realize is that Bruno is not actually a number 10. You know, where the club have been playing him, they've been playing him in a 10 position, but he's not actually a number 10. He's actually a number 8. Yeah. When I look at number 10s from years gone by, I'm looking at players like Mesut Ozil's a number 10. Then before that, you look at Riquelme, Pablo Aimar, Francesco Totti, Dennis Bergkamp, Alessandro Del Piero, Zidane, Ronaldinho, Benito Carboni, Paolo Di Canio, Dimitri Payet. It's probably been more players that I've actually forgotten. These guys are real number 10s. Bruno Fernandez is a box-to-box number 8 that has been given the license to do what he wants, and a system that he's been playing at Man United before they changed to the 3 at the back. They had him playing as a 10 because it was a free role. But Bruno's not actually a number 10. And again, many people won't actually realize that. They'll think Bruno's been a number 10 his whole life. But Bruno's not even a number 10. He's a number 8. You know, there's a reason why he wears number 8 for club and country, because he's actually a number 8, not a 10. You know, and when I look at the number 10s that I've just mentioned, Bruno's nowhere near a caliber of player of those players. So, but yeah, he shouldn't be playing 6, 8, or 10 in the system. He shouldn't even be here. That's the problem. If Man United want to be serious and, you know, take this club back to the top, then the likes of Bruno Fernandez have to be removed from this club, you know, because he's a detriment to the team. And I've been saying this for years. But big up, man. Should go through some more of your questions before we wrap. Big up to Barbara Jones says, you're right, Gav. Since Alex Ferguson left, the club's gone down a little. A little? It's gone down a lot, you know. But yeah, as I said, man, Ferguson leaving, you know, obviously different era of football now. But Louis van Gaal was taking his club. He was taking his club places. And unfortunately, you know, the club acted too quick and brought in Mourinho to replace him. And as you can see, the kind of state the club's in now, you know, if Van Gaal was allowed to do what he could do, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't see United finishing as low as they did last season, you know. So, yeah. So Jude says, also just seen Maddison is out for 7 months. Yeah, listen, he's had his surgery today, I think, from what I see earlier. But, yeah, Tottenham need to act in the market, man, and get some deals done, definitely. I like Maddison as well. I think Maddison's a good player. But it's crazy, man. Big up to Question Maker says, what is your name? As you can see behind me, GavGoesIn. That's a channel name. Big up. So Jay says, wait, Crouch never played for Arsenal. I'm done. Nah, Crouch was not Arsenal. Crouch was at Tottenham. Tottenham, Southampton, Portsmouth, Liverpool. That was Crouch's clubs. Yeah, he went at Arsenal. Crouch has actually won trophies in recent times. Safcom, big up for coming through. Guys, come on, 30 likes. If you're coming through, make sure you smash the like, as always. So Safcom says, Spurs will be in a relegation battle this season. I disagree, man. I disagree. And again, SAFC Tom must be an Arsenal fan. But yeah, I disagree, man. They won't be. Not with Thomas Frank. Lumi says, Gav, who's the best ever defender in the Premier League? Ah, great question. Great question. Guys, you know what? I think if you guys get a chance, yeah, check out. This has been quite a while ago now, but I actually done some streams on, and again, these are in chapters. So if you get a chance, give it a watch. I done a stream on the best goalkeeper of the Premier League era, the best right back, the best left back, the best centre back, the best midfielder, the best number 10, the best left and right winger, and the best strikers. So if you guys get a chance, go back through my history of streams, and you'll see it's titled the best striker or whatever position it is of the Premier League era. And again, they're in chapters. So that's a great question, Lumi. So who do I think is the best ever centre back in the Premier League? Who did I go for? I think I said Yap Stam. Was it Yap Stam? Again, I think it's difficult because you got a lot, but I don't think people realize how good Yap Stam was. Like Yap Stam had everything, you know. But there are a few other names. I think if you're talking about modern era now, Virgil van Dijk deserves a mention. But the difference is, one second, guys, breaking news. What's this? Oh, Colwell's undergone ACL surgery. Another player that's got ACL. Oh, bloody hell. Listen, Chelsea fans, Levi Colwell, man. He's undergone an ACL surgery. He could be out for a long time, just like Mason Mount. I didn't know it was an ACL. But what's his name? Wesley Fofana's back though, back in training. So that's probably why Chelsea signed Yoro Hato, because they probably knew that Colwell was going to have surgery. So now they got Badashile and Hato as the two left-sided centre-backs. Makes sense. Does make sense. And Villa as well. Crouch, yeah, played for them as well. Taylor says Kenny Sampson. That's a name I ain't heard in a while. Kenny Sampson, ex-Arsenal defender. Yeah, ex-Arsenal defender. So Jay reckons Rio Ferdinand. Yeah, I'm gonna say Yapstam. But there's so many different others as well. You know, there's so many different others. Um, Jay says I should poll this one. Yeah, I might do a poll for that one, to be fair. But as I said, make sure you check out my content. I literally done a stream on all the positions in the Premier League era. You know, so a lot of the players that have been mentioned, you know, they're mentioned in the stream that I've done. So yeah, if you get a chance, man, give that a check. But yeah, I will probably do a poll on them as well. Petr Cech, the best keeper. Who did I go for? I can't remember who I went for. John Terry, defender, company. Yeah, all these players were in the list that I done. I think striker. Well, guys, you know what? I'm not going to spoil it for you. If you guys get a chance, check out my content and let me know, because as I said, they're in chapters. So if there's anything in particular that you want to see me talk about, then yeah, just go on to the chapters. But I've done all positions. Yeah, company's definitely up there, 100%. So Taylor says Perdl was quite good too. Sebastian Perdl, defender. I don't know why Perdl's being mentioned. He's not in that class. Jude says Gary Neville has to be the best right back in Prem history. Not for me. Not for me. If we're looking at in terms of consistency and longevity, yeah, he definitely deserves a shout. But yeah, not for me. Not for me. Again, make sure you give it a check, man. You might be surprised. So Wayne says Spurs will struggle a bit with the departure of Son and injury to Maddison. But again, this is why they've got to go into the market, and I believe they will. I think Spurs are going to get another couple of players in before the window's shut. They have to. Lumi says Colwell was essential for Chelsea. They are screwed now. I don't think he's essential for Chelsea. I think he's a decent defender, but I think he's massively overhyped. You know, but the fact that he's had the ACL surgery, I wonder how long that's going to keep him out for. And I think that's why they signed Yorohato. So SAFC Tom says Tony Adams. I think Adams might have been in that list for me. Adams was the best drinker, you know. Big up to Taylor. Crouch was at Burnley as well. Yeah, Crouch had a mad career, man. Mad career. Very, very underrated. So Taylor says Shauna. So that means Taylor must be a Wigan fan. Paul Shauna. You must be a Wigan fan, Taylor. So Taylor says Alisson Becker. Yeah, Alisson. I think Alisson's up there. Alisson's in the list as well. There's loads. Alisson, Courtois, Cech, Peter Schmeichel. Who else is there? Yeah, they're all in there. But as I said, give it a check, man, and let me know what you think. Tim Krul. Nah, listen. Maybe Gamer might put Tim Krul in there. Listen, SAFC Tom said it. Listen, if anyone doesn't know Ledley King's career, Ledley King, if it wasn't for injuries, we would be talking about Ledley King in the way that we talk about Rio Ferdinand, John Terry. Because Ledley King was as good as both of them, but injuries killed his career. You know, because he was that good, Ledley King. You know, he's one of them guys that he can be off for so long and then just come back and play as if he's never missed a beat, you know. But Ledley King was a top defender, you know. The only reason Ledley King wasn't a regular for England was because of the injuries, you know. But if anyone knew watched Ledley King was that good. Just that the injuries killed him. Yeah, big up, Sham, man. Big up. Of course. Again, when it comes to football, man, I don't miss a beat, man. There's just too much knowledge that I know. You know, I'm just invested in football, man. As I say, I've played it, I've coached it, and I've watched it through the entire of my life. So, yeah, man, big up. So Chris Baby Sham says Man City is going to win the Prem. You know what, Chris? Yeah, I'm looking at Man City seriously because I just think if Liverpool somehow get Isak, do not be surprised if City go and get Rodrigo or they go and sign someone that just leaves everyone shocked. I'm telling you, I can see it happening. Because I know Pep is saying they're not signing any other players, but that's just Pep saying that. I can see them going back into the market, man, and getting someone before the end of this window, especially if Liverpool sign Isak. Guys, come on, there's 41 of you in there, 32 likes. Let's smash the like button. If you're in there enjoying the chat, enjoying the content, big up yourselves. Smash the like button and sub to the channel. So I'll give you a clue. What do Prudel and Shana have in common? They're both average players. Compatriots, same country, average players. I don't know, man. Let me know. So Question Maker says, I'm a Spurs fan and I think they'll be the new danger team. Yeah, listen, I think Tottenham will do well this season. I've already said that under Thomas Frank. Big up to Canal. Kaushik says, what about Man United and Sesko? Again, I'm not really a massive fan of the Sesko deal, if I'm honest. But if Rasmus Højlund goes at the club, then again, I'll deal with the Sesko transfer. But go and get me Baleba. That's what I want. Yeah, listen, Lumi's football Lumi's football knowledge is crazy. But again, Sham, your football knowledge is crazy as well, man. So yeah, big up yourself, man. All my mods, your football knowledge is mad. So Jay, Lumi, Reluctant Gamer, Sham, what's his name? DXR. Yeah, listen, all the mods, man. You guys' football knowledge is all there. And big up to Daniela and big up to Barbara as well. Yeah, big up Lumi. Lumi says, Gav, you let goals go in when you play 1v1. Yeah, you know why? Because sometimes I can't bother to get to the ball. But yeah, if you get a chance, check out so my team I play five-a-side with on Mondays is called No Defense. So again, I'll probably let you guys know already. So obviously our team plays against if anyone knows Rio Engamoha from Liverpool, obviously the new wonder kid coming through. So him and his brother's team, they got a team called Part-Time Pros, and they're in our league in five-a-side where I play. So if you get a chance, check out No Defense on YouTube, and again you'll see some clips of our team, and you'll see some clips of me playing. So and obviously if you check as well some of the shorts, you'll see some of the clips. So I do like end to end. I do 2-touch. Again, Monday just gone. We done football, tennis. So yours truly, you know, still got the belt. So yeah, there's a lot of different stuff on there, man. So make sure you guys give that a check. So Sham says Gav can't even score penalties. Listen, I'm the penalty king, yeah. But I tell you one thing, because you know I tell the truth. I don't lie. I had a penalty just gone Monday and I missed it. You know, I couldn't believe it. I think what I did, I changed my mind and then leaned back and he went over the bar. So listen, I was pissed off. I ain't gonna lie, but it is what it is. You know, but the goal that I scored was a great goal. I think that might be on camera. So once my boy finishes uploading that game, and big up as well. Make sure, guys, if you get a chance, if you guys like your music, you like your rap, go onto Twitch and check out my boy, your boy Truance. So at your boy Truance, if you get a chance and you like your rap, the guy does live freestyles all the time. So yeah, if you get a chance, yeah, check out at your boy Truance on Twitch. So he's the one that does the editing for the games as well for the five-a-side. So Canal says Rodrigo's going to stay with Real Madrid. I think the way it looks right now is likely, but if I'm honest with you, for his career, he needs to move on. He has to move on for me. You know, what a player. And he's just being disrespected when he's in the team with Vinicius Jr. and Mbappe. So, yeah, top player, man. So Mick Moore says Paul McGrath. Yeah, Paul McGrath was a very good defender, but I'm doing more of the recent era, Mick. I'm doing more of the recent era. You know, so Paul McGrath, Bobby Moore, all them kind of guys are not mentioned. So, but big up, man. So Sham says Spurs will be top 6. Daniela says, Gav, I heard Chelsea is to sign Garnacho. Is this true? Listen, yeah, I'm shocked that they actually want Garnacho, but if they want him, come and take him so we can get him at the club. That's all I want to happen. Yeah, big up Lumi, man. Lumi, you should see my goal just gone on Monday. Like you guys will be, yeah, you guys will be impressed with that one. It was a great strike, you know. But yeah, I've got that in my locker, man. So, but big up to Davies as well. Yeah, big up Canal, man, for subbing. Big up. Guys, come on, we got 44 of you in there, 33 likes. Let's at least get to 40, guys. You know, we had 50 this morning. Let's get to 40. You know, just one press of the button. If you're enjoying the content, you're enjoying the chat, just smash that like button. And again, make sure you sub to the channel as well. So Sula Gray says, please explain about Isak bid. Well, Liverpool put a bid in of a total package worth 110 mil, which is including add-ons. It got rejected, and now they got to come out with a second bid. You know, if they reach 150, you know, Newcastle might not even accept that. So that's what you got to be aware of, you know. Yusuf Fov says, Messi or Ronaldo? The amount of times I've answered this question, it's Lionel Messi all the way. You know, big up to Ronaldo's career, but he's not on Messi's level. Nowhere near it. Adebayo Akinfenwa. Big up to Danny McIntosh. Danny, long time, man. Big up yourself. Yeah, I've been good, bro. I've been good, man. Channel's growing, you know. Done some good numbers today, you know, which is impressive, man. So yeah, just as always, man, I'm always here, you know. You guys obviously coming through, supporting the channel as well, which is much appreciated. And as I said, yeah, I'm still here, man. Still doing this thing. But yeah, big up yourself, man. Right, guys, we got 35 likes. Come on, 5 more likes to hit 40. And then if we can get 50, then I'll be all good. You know, I'm gonna go through the rest of your questions before we wrap up. Yeah, listen, Lumi, that goal you're talking about, I remember that goal. So it was a 1-2. So I held the guy off. I done like a little chip pass and then followed the run and then finished it off right foot. Yeah. But yeah, now there is some very good goals that I've scored on there, man. So, but again, there's content on there on the No Defense page of the full games, you know, and there's a clip on there of Rio when we played against their team. I think he's taken on one of our defenders. It might even be me actually. I'm not even sure, but yeah, there's clips on there. There's clips on there. So Youssef Fov says Ronaldo scored 950 goals. And again, that's good for Ronaldo, but that doesn't mean he's better than Messi based on that amount of goals. That's not how football works. But because yeah, that's just not how football works. You know what I mean? But big up, man. Yeah, big up, Lumi. Yeah, listen, it's big up Danny, man. It is growing, man. I'm putting the work in, and obviously I've got my mods. You know, they're here every time. They're helping to regulate the channel, and again, we have some good football chats over here, man. So yeah, as I said, man, it's just the work I'm putting in. So I'm live literally more or less every day. You know, I'm trying to do 2 streams a day as well, morning and evening. So yeah, man, it's definitely growing. Just got to keep it up, man. So, but big up, man, for coming through each and every time. So Sula Gray says, noted, is Nunez leave Liverpool this summer? Yeah, Nunez is gone. He's already gone. He's gone. So Jay says, your team is no defense, right? Yeah, that's our team, Jay. No defense, man. The clue is in the team name. So yeah, but big up, man. So Question Maker says, I had a football tournament today and I was the only person to score on my team. And I got my team all the way to the final when we was drawing 1-1. And I scored in the last 4 seconds from my own half. Big up to Question Maker. Listen, you know what it is? If you're in a team and you're the only one to score a goal or your team isn't that great, this is when, you know, personality and leadership comes into it. You know, you've got to drag your team to get into a final to win the whole thing. And it sounds like that's what you've done. So yeah, big up yourself, man. You know, this is where personality and confidence and leadership comes into it. So, but big up, man. I respect that. Yeah, big up to Yusufov. He's gone. Big up, man. Wayne says Liverpool interested in PSG's Bradley Barcola. Yeah, so that's what the title is today, Wayne. So I said earlier they could be looking at Barcola as an alternative to Isak, not in direct position, but in another player, because obviously they lost. Diaz is gone, Nunez is now gone. So if they can't get Isak, then he might be a good alternative to get Barcola. But I think there's rumours of Barcola signing a new contract at PSG soon. So yeah, it's looking unlikely, but who knows? Yeah, big up, Lumi. Big up. So Daniela says, watching your shorts, your technique is unreal, Gav, and the left footer and the left footer. Yeah, listen, man. Yeah, listen. As I said, man, I've had a good career in football, man, from playing, from watching and coaching. And again, five-a-side for me is just keeping it alive. We play every Monday, and as I said, at the moment we're second to part-time pros, which is Rio and his brother's team, but we got a game in hand. So the problem is, because Rio's obviously doing pre-season with Liverpool, it's like it's good, because if he comes back and he's obviously gonna start tearing it up, because he's another dimension when he plays. So we got a game in hand on them, you know, and we actually beat them. We actually beat them in the league game when Rio didn't play, and then we played them in a friendly, and to be fair, they absolutely battered us in the friendly. I think they beat us like 8-3 or 8-4. But yeah, when Rio plays, and obviously as I said, Rio's put on a lot of muscle mass as well. But when Rio plays, yeah, he's a difference maker. You know, But what I like about what Rio does, and as you guys can see when he plays for Liverpool now, his intent to take on his man is always there. He wants to take you on at every opportunity, wherever you are. You know, he's got the quick feet, and again, he's added on the muscle mass as well, which will help him to ride the challenges. So yeah, listen, man, he's an absolute problem. And as I said, 16 years of age, Liverpool's youngest ever player. The guy's gonna be a star, man. You know, and again, I've seen him firsthand to see what he can do. I know it's five-a-side, it's different, but five-a-side shows you, like, you know, the tight control that he has, the change of pace, you know. So yeah, he's gonna go far, man, 100%. And big up to Rio, man. Yusufov says, what kind of player was Neymar? A very good player. Neymar is one of the best players of his generation. The best way to describe Neymar, because again, if anyone just watches Neymar, you know what a player he is. So I'm not really going to go too much into that. But the biggest respect you can give to Neymar is that Neymar was just unlucky that he was in an era with Messi and Ronaldo, where the Ballon d'Or is about popularity. You know, it's about numbers and trophies won. And those two players had all three of them. And unfortunately for Neymar, he was in an era where he was playing amongst Messi and Ronaldo. Obviously, him and Messi were in the same team. And the problem is that if he wasn't in the same era as them, you're looking at Neymar winning about 5 or 6 Ballon d'Ors, because he was just that good. You know, he was easily the third best player in the world. You know, people might say Gareth Bale at the time, but for me, it was Neymar. But Neymar was just unlucky that he was in an era with Messi and Ronaldo. You know, so that's the best way to describe it, really. Yeah, as Sham has said, and question maker, he's a beast. Oh, sorry, Sham said he's a beast. Yeah. Yeah, big up Danny, man. Yeah, listen, Rio's going to be a star, man. He is. I mean, there's talk about Max Dowman as well, 15-year-old. Funny enough, actually, I actually see Max Dowman the other day. Was it this week? Today's what? Thursday? Yeah, I see him this week. I see him on Monday, funny enough. I see him in the high street, like near where I live. And I actually didn't realize he lived actually near me. But yeah, there's a big hype about Max Dowman. He's a very good footballer, but is he going to be a regular player for Arsenal? I can't see it because there's too many players that are on bigger money, you know, more experience. But he's definitely got quality, man, 100%. And he's only 15. You know, there was talk about him. I see people comparing him with Yamal, and obviously Yamal's just turned 18, but Yamal was a key player for club and country at 16, which is unheard of. So, but yeah, I like Rio Ingamoha, and I like Max Dowman, man, two good players. Over Limiter says opinions on Florian Wirtz, and is he gonna be good at Liverpool? Yeah, listen, Florian Wirtz is one of my favourite players right now. And I hate to say it because he's at, obviously, our rivals, Liverpool. But I was praying United went in for him, even though I knew it was never going to be a possibility. But Florian Wirtz, for me, he can't fail. He's just got too much quality. And not to mention, he's a goal threat as well. So he's a goal threat and he's very creative. So my opinions on Florian Wirtz is that Liverpool have got one of the best players in the world. And he's going to show that, man. So yeah, it's frustrating, man. But yeah, I ain't gonna hate on Florian Wirtz. No way, man. He's one of my favorite players, and you know, he was a Barcelona type player, and the fact that Liverpool have got him, it's mad. It's mad. So Lumi says, Gav, I told you loads of Chelsea players will get bad injuries as they played too much last season without an adequate break. Expect a lot more. But yeah, you know what, Lumi, though? Liverpool have Chelsea have got a massive squad, so they're the one club that can afford to get injuries. You know what I mean? Because let's think about it. They've got an injury to Colwell now, but they've still got Badashile and now Hato. So they've got a mad squad. Mad squad. And obviously you got Wesley Fofana who's coming back as well. So who's going to win the Champions League? And I think that Newcastle won't keep Isak and he'll be off to Saudi, or Liverpool agree. Well, I don't agree. He's not going to Saudi. That's the first thing. And I think everything's pointing towards him going to Liverpool, but the ball is in Newcastle's court. I keep saying that. He's got 3 years left on his contract. And unless 150 is bidded, and again, Newcastle might not even accept that. So unless that happens, or Newcastle don't get an adequate replacement, it's going to be hard for him to get out of there. I'll be honest, you know. So who's going to win the Champions League? I'm going to say the favourites are the likes of PSG, Barcelona. I think you have to put Liverpool up there as well. City, you know. I think one of them 4, I think, will be the front runners for me. So, big up. Lumi says, how did you think of GavGoesIn as your name? I think it's great. Yeah, you know what, Lumi? Big up, man, for that. Do you know what's actually funny? It wasn't even me that thought of the name. It was my boy, as I mentioned to you earlier. So my boy, at your boy Truance, you know, the guy I told you to go and follow on Twitch, he was the one that come out of it, you know, and also he's the one that does the edits for our No Defense team as well. So he come out with GavGoesIn, because I think one time we were talking about football, and I think the way that I was, as you guys can see, the passion for it that I was talking about, I was doing that face to face. I think there's about 6 of us just debating football, and you know, I was passionate about what I was talking about, and then we actually went right into it. And then after we finished, he goes, "Oh, GavGoesIn," and then I thought, you know what, that'll be a sick name for a channel. So yeah, that's how I thought of it, really. So yeah, man, big up to your boy Truance, man, because he was the one that came out with the name, and then I thought, yeah, I'm gonna go with that. So and again, it incorporates my name. You know what I mean? Which is crazy. So but big up, man. Good question. I like this one. If anyone's seen my poll that I've done on my post, I done this exact question: who is better? Who's a better player, Salah or Hazard? And the funny thing is, Wayne, yeah, the way you've actually put the question, what you've said, is exactly how I put the question on my post. And the thing is, people need to realize the question: who is the better player, Salah or Hazard? Because a lot of these things can be subjective. For me, the better player is Eden Hazard by a mile. You know, in terms of numbers, Mo Salah kills Hazard on numbers. But again, numbers doesn't mean that you're the better player. It means you are a beneficiary of the system. Yeah? Which is what Salah is. Eden Hazard is just the pure footballer. You know, Eden Hazard for me is, again, a generational player with Neymar. These guys are generational. You know, these guys would have won Ballon d'Ors if it wasn't for Messi and Ronaldo's domination. You know, so this is an easy one for me. The better player in terms of the footballer is Eden Hazard by a mile. But if we're talking about goal scoring or numbers, then you're going to give it to Salah. But again, it's subjective and it's not about numbers for me. But yeah, great question. Oh, Lumi, you're from Croydon, yeah? Okay, big up. But now you're in Portsmouth. Okay. So you're a Pompey, yeah? Is that what it is? Big up to Lumi. Guys, come on, 37 likes. Let's increase to 40, guys. Come on. There's 53 of you in there at the moment, and there's 37 likes. Again, just one smash of the button, guys. Help the channel to grow. And again, make sure you sub as well. Big up yourselves. So Sham says I was born in London, literally next to area to Gav, and live in Birmingham now. Yeah, big up, Sham, man. Yeah, I think we discussed that before, man. It's crazy, man. Small world. Danny says Essex boy Dowman. Yeah, listen, man. As I said, I see him literally the other day in the high street. Gav can set records over there. Yeah, listen. So Danny says, one player I'm glad we have a buyback clause is Kwanzaa. He's going to be a top defender. He's so much like Jonathan Tah. Yeah, I'm not really sure about Kwanzaa, you know. There's a reason why Liverpool let him go. I think if he was anywhere good enough, Liverpool would have kept him because Liverpool need another defender. But they see an opportunity for him to move on, get some money for him. I think he's good, but I don't know if he's going to be a top defender, you know. Yeah, big up Lumi. So your boy Truance on Twitch. Yeah, your boy Truance. And obviously he's the one that does the no defense edits as well. So he's got a GoPro camera that he uses for our games on Monday. So he's the one that does the edits for our team. So yeah, if you get a chance, if you like rap, if you like freestyles, you like your music, check him out on Twitch. The guy's unreal, man. It's unreal what he can do with lyrics. It's mad. Like you can give him any word, and he'll freestyle it for you. It's crazy, you know. There's some people that have serious talents in certain things, and he's definitely one of them, you know. So give him a check, man. Give him a follow, man, if you get a chance on Twitch. Some pussy-o called Nikop says, bro, yapping. Yep, you're watching me. Big up, man. Yeah, it's crazy when people come in there talking nonsense. Like, you're telling me I'm yapping, but you're watching me. I ain't got a clue who you are. You know, I just see your name is Nikop. Have I even got it right? So it's crazy, man. But yeah, keep watching, man. Big up yourself. Yeah, big up, man. Hit 40 likes. Big up. Oh, Jay, you're from Tottenham, yeah? I actually went college in Tottenham. Don't know if you know College of North East London. I used to go there, man, back in the day. So Lumi says, Gascoigne or Cantona? Listen, I ain't going against one of my legends, man, Cantona, all day long. I can't go against Cantona, man. King Eric. Jokovic is on fire everywhere he goes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see first game of the season if he even starts. I'll be waiting for that one. Big up to Lavi Patel. Love from India. Big up, Lavi. Guys, come on. Have we hit 40 likes yet, guys? Let me know if we've hit 40 likes. Jay, you actually go to there, yeah? That's mad. That was my college. That's where I done my personal trainer course at Cornell, we called it, Cornell. That was a mad college, man. Metal detectors and all that in there. That was a crazy college. Big up to Lewis Jackson for coming through. Big up, man. So Wayne says Salah or Hazard. Hazard for me. I just explained why as well. Right, guys, we're going to go for another 5 minutes and then we're going to wrap up. So we got 41 of you in at the moment and we got 39 likes it's showing me. If we can get to 50, then all good. Big up to Sharon as well. Big up Sharon for coming through. Yeah, Jay, listen, man, that is a small world. Like, that's the exact college I used to go to, man. Before I started driving, man, I had to get like 3 buses to get there. It was fucking long. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man, small world. I'm telling you. So Lumi says, could you clear the halfway line with a goal kick? Yeah. Yeah, of course I could. Yeah. Yeah, of course I could. Yeah, big up Danny, man. Big up. Big up Kunte Jr. as well. Kunte Jr. Where have I had that name before? Kunte Kente, no? Big up to AJ Faith, says, what's this about, bro? It's a football channel. You know, we also talk about boxing, wrestling, UFC as well. So, big up for coming through, man. We're going to go for another 5 minutes, guys, and then we're going to wrap. So, could you hit the crossbar at the halfway line like Soccer AM used to do? Yeah, of course, man. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I can attempt that, of course. If you get a chance as well, check out... we actually done a crossbar challenge, so that should be on one of the shorts on there as well. Crossbar challenge. So yeah, there's all different kind of content on there, but yeah, hitting the crossbar from the halfway line. Yeah, these things just take practice really. So AJ says that he does trading. What are you doing? Forex trading, Bitcoin. Big up for coming through, man, as well. Are you a baller as well? Who'd you play for, or who have you played for? Yeah. Listen, Jay. Yeah, you've seen that, yeah. Give that a check. It's funny because the guys that we were actually trying to do the crossbar challenge with, like, it's funny because they weren't actually reading the script. Like, they were taking the shot, but it seemed like they were trying to aim for the goal. So obviously we're just busting jokes and that, bantering them, and then obviously I step up for my first attempt, hit the bar straight away. So yeah, give that a watch, man. It's actually quite funny. Big up to the Mike MC says, thoughts about Javi Simons to Chelsea. I have to be honest, I'm actually surprised they're actually going for Javi Simons. Not because he's not a good player, but I thought they would have signed someone. Because if you look at what Chelsea have got now, they've got Pedro Neto and you've got Cole Palmer who can play on the right. The same with Esteval. Then they've got Esteval and Palmer that can play in the 10. Javi Simons can play in the 10 and play on the left. Then you've got Bino Gittins that plays on the left-hand side. So they've got variations of different players in their team. But I was thinking they might have gone for someone that is a bit more direct after not having gone for... obviously, Morgan Rogers was priced out of a move and not going for like an Eze. You know, so... I was a bit surprised they're getting Javi Simons, but again, they're getting someone that's a very good footballer, you know, so he'll slot into their team. But I'm just more worried about, are they going to have too many of the same sort of players? But again, they know what they're doing, Chelsea, man, you know. So AJ Faith says, where do you kick ball? So I play 5-a-side in an area called, I don't know if you know Ilford or Hainault. That's where I play 5-a-side. Yeah, I've been playing there for years. So Danny says, when you played in the academy, the crossbar challenge is all we used to do after training. Yeah, listen, that's just standard crossbar challenge, you know. Yeah, these things are just practice really. So as Danny said, man. Also, AJ said he used to go to Catford Pits. Okay, big up AJ. Sharon says Sells has been Forest's best goalkeeper in history, in my opinion, only just better than Samba. Okay, was he better than Sharon? Let's see if you know. Yeah, Sharon, is he better than Sean Crossley? Not Sean Crossley, Mark Crossley. Was he better than Mark Crossley? If you know, you know. So Lumi says, is it fair to write Mudryk off now? I think the money that was spent on him, and obviously the accusations that's happened to him, yeah, it's who knows, man. Who knows? I think Mudryk had something, but it's gonna be a long way back for him, I would say. You know. Yeah, I listen. Brice Samba for Forest was good. He's actually he's a regular, I think, in the French squad. AJ says Grealish to Everton. Yeah, that'd be a great signing for Everton. You know, I think Tottenham need to go in for Grealish or for Eze, for me. As Lumi's just said. So Jay says, Gav, do you think that being a striker is a lost art now? I think I touched on this before. And again, guys, this will be the last question before we wrap. What I would say is central strikers is a dying art now because of when you look at the likes of Neymar, you look at Lamine Yamal now, you look at Doué, a lot of these younger players coming through are all playing as inside forwards from the wing. Whereas back in the day, it used to be, you know, strikers this, strikers that. But I think the generation of footballers coming through now, a lot of players want to replicate players like Neymar, you know, with the skills. Players like Mbappe, who's not a natural striker, Vinicius Jr. So I think if you look at the strikers now in world football, there's no surprise why the strikers now isn't so many. So a lot of the players coming through now are like wide forwards or inside forwards. You know, you look at the very best strikers right now in world football, they're both the wrong side of 30, which is Lewandowski and Harry Kane. And then you look at the next batch, you've got the likes of Osimhen, Gyökeres, Isak, Haaland. And then we're struggling for real top strikers. You know what I mean? So again, it's a generation thing because a lot of players coming through now, they want to be wide players, you know, whereas before it was about being a striker. And that's because of who the idols are in football for the generation coming through now. This is the thing. So when a team gets a striker now, it's like gold dust, really. So yeah, but great question. But guys, listen up. Been going for long enough tonight anyway. Obviously, we done 2 hours earlier today. I'll be back tomorrow morning, guys, at 11:30. So make sure you guys join me then as well. Again, we've got 41 likes. There's 31 of you in it at the moment. So if you guys can smash the like button and sub to the channel, make sure you do. And guys, make sure as well, as I said, check out my other content. Check out my posts to see the questions that I've been asking. You know, there's some good content on there. And as always, your support is appreciated. Big up to all the mods as well for coming through. Big up to all the newcomers. Big up to Sharon. Big up to Danny McIntosh as well for coming back. So yeah, as I said, make sure you check out my schedule and you see, and make sure your notifications are on as well to see when I go live. And as I said, guys, if you get a chance, check out my boy at Your Boy Truants on Twitch. If you guys like your music, like your rap and your freestyles. And check out, again, No Defense, which is our team on Monday, five-a-side. And as I said, you know, let me know what you think, guys. And yeah, listen, Jay, man, it's a pleasure that you guys come on and interact with the channel, man. That again, you guys make the channel what it is as well. Because if you guys are not interacting with me, then again, it's not an easy stream. Let's put it that way. But you guys keep it going, and obviously my face is on there. You know, interacting with you guys, and as I said, yeah, it's all good, man. But I'm gonna be back, guys. As I said, tomorrow at 11:30. Hopefully, there's some more news on Carlos Baleba or some other news that drops. Obviously, Benjamin Sesko looking like he's through the door, so I'm hoping Baleba. I'm hoping United can just press on with that now. But again, make sure, guys, you sub to the channel, you smash the like button. And as I said, big up to everyone that's come on and contributed to the channel today or tonight. And as I said, yeah, big up to all the mods each and every time as well. And guys, yeah, don't forget to check in on Gamer. You know, as I said, he might be a bit fragile at the moment with what's happened with Newcastle. So yeah, make sure you guys check in on him to see if he's cool. And as I said, guys, it's much appreciated your support. So yeah, is what it is, guys. With the football today and tonight. So yeah, as I said, big up yourselves each and every time, and I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. Take it easy.